Okay, so the project that I did was on El Retrato de, oh my gosh, El Retrato de los Daniellas. And it is an entremés about two con artists who go to each town, pretty much focusing on how important religion is during this time period. So these two con artists, they say that only the purest Christians can see this, or like they're ones with pure blood. And so conformity is very important in this time period. And so he kind of plays with that, and so everyone kind of acts along with it. And so that is something very interesting that we found here. We also noticed that entremeses also kind of have an important message about society, as our say verbs.
And the title is a play on a place in Spain that has a very superstitious nature. Allegedly, during the Middle Ages, the devil taught black magic outside of this cave. So this work itself focuses on a mysterious student who shows up at the doorstep of a housewife while her husband is away. And the wit of the student ends up saving the wife's tale after the husband comes home early and he encounters two male house guests and a mysterious student. And something that's interesting about this entremés is the focus on deception. Even though the husband is being deceived by his wife, he's more curious about the unknown and the mysterious than of the practical nature, like the activities of his wife. But marriage is also a key theme that we can see in the next entremés.
So my entremés was El Juez de los Divorcios, or Divorce Court in English. This was written between the years 1610 and 1615, we're not exactly sure. And in this work, there are three couples who are petitioning for a divorce, and one man who is petitioning for marriage with a prostitute. And in this, Cervantes discusses different reasons for divorce, and divorce itself is a very controversial topic during this time because of Catholic influence in Spain. And divorce is only really allowed if one of the spouses committed adultery or if someone decided they would rather pursue a religious life in the convent instead. And so in this, Cervantes is presenting different reasons for divorce, such as not getting along with your spouse or just not being attracted to them anymore. And in this, he also critiques marriage, which goes in with the biographical elements of this work because he himself had a very unhappy marriage. And another important theme is female liberation, or libertad femenina in Spanish. And from the 15th to 17th centuries, women were considered as property, but Cervantes depicts them differently as autonomous creatures, or autonomous individuals who rebel against the marriages that they feel trapped in. And for this, he is known for strong female characters.
Karla, and I did my Wikipedia project on El Viejo Celoso, or The Jealous Old Man. This is a really funny interlude. Some of the main characters are right there: Castañares, Lorenza, Cristina, and Ortigosa. So the interlude starts with Lorenza and Ortigosa talking about their life, and Lorenza is married to Castañares, while Lorenza is 15 years old and Castañares is 70 years old. So Lorenza starts talking and says that she's really unhappy in her marriage. So Ortigosa, her neighbor, proposes her to bring a really young man to her house, and when Castañares gets home, we see that Ortigosa brings the young man into the house, and the young man goes into a room and Lorenza goes in the same room. And in that room they commit adultery, but what the funny thing is that Castañares was at the house at the same time that they were committing adultery. So Lorenza starts telling Castañares how she's enjoying the time with the man, and Castañares thinks that it's just a joke. And then at the end, the young man escapes the house, and Lorenza and Castañares start arguing, and then at the end, it's really ironic because they all start dancing, and the musicians come in, and they are having a good time. So the themes are here in this interlude are adultery, which is really prevalent in the interlude, jealousy, distrust, betrayal. And one of my favorite things is that they have really strong female figures or characters in the interlude, which are really, like Molly said, that it was one of Cervantes' emphasis, like women in the role, and that's my.
Short enough to actually be considered a short story, so you're able to get some rich character development and development of themes without the commitment of having to read an entire novel. Cervantes wrote 12 exemplary novels in total, as can be seen here. Usually his works are organized into two categories, the realistic and the idealistic, when we're talking about his exemplary novels. However, we shall see that these categories aren't completely adequate to describe his stories. The first exemplary novel we will go into is La Quintanilla, the longest exemplary novel that Cervantes wrote.
And Preciosa, who is said to be very talented, very beautiful, and wise beyond her years. Accompanied by her adoptive grandmother, Preciosa and other members of her gypsy family group travel to Madrid, where she meets a charming young nobleman named Juan de Garcomen. And so Juan falls in love with Preciosa and he proposes marriage to her. But Preciosa and her grandmother challenge Juan in order to earn Preciosa's hand in marriage to live 2 years as a member of their gypsy family group and live under the name Andres Caballero as a gypsy, as a true member of their family. And during these 2 adventurous years, much is learned by the main characters, and of the main characters, a lot of secrets are revealed, and this results in a very unexpected but happy ending. And so a lot of the main themes of the story include the making and breaking of stereotypes, female freedom and power, like some of the other panelists have discussed, and the importance of words and the truth, well, the so-called truth behind the mystery of gypsy life. And now Maria's going to discuss
with the whole collection in 1613. And this story is mostly a love story. It starts with a kidnap, which makes it very interesting. And the young girl who's kidnapped, she actually learns to love the family that she's taken to and falls in love with, I guess what you would call her stepbrother. She is extremely beautiful, and when she's taken to England, the queen asks to see her and says that Ricardo, which is the stepbrother, cannot marry Isabella until he has proven himself. So there again, you see somewhere where someone has to prove themselves to be able to have the woman he wants. So he has to do trips, he meets her parents, they reunite. He has actually already been engaged to someone else, breaks that engagement. Isabella suffers from poisoning, someone poisons her. So this story is filled with many, many things. In the end, they reunite again in Spain this time. And so that's why I like to call it a true love story, because it starts with them and it ends with a happily ever after kind of ending. It questions beauty a lot. When Isabella is poisoned, she loses that beauty she had. Later in the story, she regains it, but Ricardo has basically confronted with this issue where does he really still love her, even though she's not beautiful anymore? So it really questions that beauty. I also like the strong female. It values the role of the female. They're very important. Even though Isabella doesn't speak a lot, she's the main character. She plays a big part. And so, and then religion. Religion is a big thing. Of course, Spain is Catholic, and England is non-Catholic, it's Protestant. So there's a conflicting thing there, but it resolves in the end. So it's a really, really, really interesting story.
The Glass Graduate. This is the story of Tomás Rodaja, who from really humble beginnings was able to complete his degree in law. This story basically begins with this woman falls in love with him, but he doesn't love her back, so she tries to poison him. So she used this intended love potion to kind of make him fall in love with her, but it doesn't work. And he ended up completely crazy, and he started believing that he's made of glass. But he actually becomes really famous throughout Spain because being so clever and because of his wit and wisdom. So people really love his story, and he's just so clever that it really attracts people to talk to him. However, when he society. So he was not able to continue his career, so he decided to join the army, and he actually dies in the battle. Now, moving on to the actual project, the main idea of this project is to provide quality information for other students like us that are taking classes about Cervantes and they don't have a lot of good resources to learn more about his work and about his life. So we're taking this writings and we are creating a Wikipedia page, or we adding quality information to these pages so that other people can have this quality information and we can increase his visibility and also his recognition. And now Melissa and Maria are going to discuss a little bit more about this project and what steps are we following to get this project done.
I am Quixote. Are you?